Hi there, my lovelies. I'm Rhonda Crimes and I'm a life and leadership coach, aiming to help everyday people explore with everyday curiosity, to practice with everyday courage and make everyday choices that help craft compelling lives every day. And today, let's talk about getting our shit together. How much time do you spend comparing how your life measures up to the expectations of everyone else around you? If you're anything like me, it starts in childhood. Oh, you're not as tidy as your sister. You should be more like her. Oh, you're much louder than everyone else. You need to quieten down. Progressing as we grow up to things like, oh, you only went to high school. Couldn't you get into uni? Or, oh, you're just a stay-at-home mum with your kids. I like to be more challenged than that. And although they appear quite benign statements, we start to second-guess ourselves and feel that we're not, enough. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been working on getting my shit together for over 40 years. I've bought so many self-help books and courses, listened to more webinars than I can care to remember, and sought counsel from loads and loads of people who've all told me how I can do what they do and have my shit in very lovely, neat piles just like theirs. What I've always seemed to be trying to do was to single out just one aspect of my life that I perceived as being dysfunctional and then hit it with the clean sweep of someone else's broom of smart goals, procedures, practices and methods to get that aspect into a really perfect little pile. Now, truth be told, I could do it like that for a while. But then I'm exhausted and I need to wallow in the resentment for this all-consuming aspect of my life. Or my rigidly detailed routine would unravel before my eyes as a child got sick, or an emergency outing arose, or a change in plan that filtered down from a work superior. Or my personal go-to, I just can't be fucked. It's all too hard to be this compliant. It also seemed that while I focused all my attention on the promised amazing results for dealing with whatever apparent problem or shortfall it was at the time, as soon as that one pile got sorted, there was another really messy heap just ahead because I'd taken my focus off it, or it was a brand new one that had appeared seemingly out of nowhere. It felt like I was raking leaves on a windy day. So I'd move on to the next promised magic solution to combat my inabilities while simultaneously continuing to compare myself to everyone around me. It always seemed I was too young or too old, too fat, too unfit, too messy or too disorganized, too bossy, too passive, too loud, too quiet. And so I would vow again to do or change something about me to make me fit the picture of the woman who has got her shit all together. And as I've aged, it's become ever more elusive. There always seemed to be a really valid reason why I couldn't have the expected neat piles. My original favourite reason was that I'd not been blessed by inheriting the organised gene that my mum and sister had been bestowed with and used to keep me in line when we all lived together. I'd love to say that it stopped with that one, but my list went on and on from there. I worked full time. I had 3 kids. I'm a lazy bitch. I had to do it on my own. I lived in the country. I just didn't seem to apply myself properly. Most of the reasons were levelled at some weakness or failing that I had. You get the picture. So I can't tell you how happy I was when I stumbled across a great TED Talk by Marianne Cantwell in September 2017 called The Hidden Power of Not Always Fitting In. In that talk, she seemed to be speaking directly to me and described that while on the outside I seemed to be always trying to fit in, to be compliant, but secretly there was this little piece inside of me that never actually feels like I fit 100% into anything. Marianne was the first person to introduce me to the word liminal, that she describes as a state of in-betweenness. So like, you're not quite one thing, but you're not quite another. You're on a borderland, a part of this, but also a part of that. I really recommend that you take the 18 minutes to watch her talk. It would seem that I'm not so uncommon as I had once imagined. I've been accused of being a fence sitter for as long as I can remember, mostly because I'm a Libran. Oh, she can't make a decision to save her life. When actually, most of the time, it's because I haven't wanted to choose between black or white, the with us or the against us. I much prefer the grayscale, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I think it makes me a much more well-rounded person. I hope you can imagine the moment of great lightning when I realised that I've been doing it wrong for all these years. I was always trying to do exactly what everybody else did. But I'm not like everybody else. I'm totally unique, and what may appear to be a weakness of mine to others is in fact a superpower to me. So I've changed and refined my approach over the last couple of years. I've stopped trying to get my shit into neat little piles. I just don't want to use up all my energy sorting them when I don't actually have to. I don't want to have to validate my every decision into what is right or wrong. I can now confidently choose to be liminal in so many of these aspects. What other people think or expect of me is not my primary concern anymore. It goes from little things like, I really like a made bed, but I don't care if no one in the house makes theirs. I like to have small routines, sort of autopilot rituals that get me into my own pattern of flow. But I don't have to do that for every task in my day. I like to have time boundaries, and so I've got phone timers going off all day. They aren't rigid cues to tell me what I should be doing or should have already done by now. They are simply to draw my attention to the progression of my day. And I'm not fussed that others think that it's something to laugh about. The other almost epiphany I have come to realise, without any sense of guilt, excuse or inadequacy, is that I am also a woman and my energy levels are cyclical. I have different energy at different times of the month, and this is true even though I'm menopausal now. So what might work for me this week may not work for me next week, and that is perfectly okay, and as it should be for me. The cyclical nature of my life, however, is another story for another time. So it's my hope that when you look around comparing yourself to others, and let's face it, we all do it on some level anyway, but if you feel like you're coming up short in some way, the first step is to just get curious and ask yourself, does this have to be black and white? Or can it actually be any colour shade you choose? So if your now is not the picture that you've painted for yourself, and you'd like to have a chat about any of this, or maybe something completely different, that you intuitively know or feel isn't letting your true colours shine through, then please get in touch with me. You can do it easily. Leave a comment, send me a private message, drop me an email, or book a call. Thanks for your time, and I will see you next time when we have another little chat.